We roll, we rage, and we rarely check for traps. We are Raging Rolls.
Welcome to Raging Rolls. Tonight we are venturing into Acquisitions Incorporated. Hi, visitor. And we're going to be enjoying ourselves, hopefully some answers to the questions that were raised last session as to why the cave that they explored had two different layouts depending on when they entered, who they entered with, a lot of questions. The party is currently suffering from a monkey-ish disease, which, based on last session, they really didn't see an answer to. Anything else that you guys remember from last session and think is worth sort of repeating?
We got the elven bitch.
We got the elven bitch.
The group did make some sort of crazy idea not to go and kill some other people that we saw in the cave. We actually decided to go and help the guy who we were helping. It was bizarre.
It was
somebody instead of choosing to kill something. Yeah.
Well, there was nothing left to kill after Hinson nuked the joint.
Yeah. Oh yes, absolutely. So tonight we have myself DMing, and we have a lovely assorted cast and crew. Flint, do you want to introduce yourself quickly?
Hey, I'm Jeremy. I'll be playing Flint, a dwarf cleric, current level 5, and hell-bent on doing whatever he can to appease his god Talos.
And Gary?
Mark, playing Gary the monk, Way of the Open Hand. Gary's a forest gnome with a penchant for shiny things and for punching on.
Beautiful. And the shortest, but definitely not the least, Sue?
So my name's Dave. I'm playing Sue tonight. A barb named Sue has a fair chip on the old shoulder to do with his name, and is a gnomish little toe stealer. Just kind of like out there slaying things, accidentally lodging his axe into vertebrae, and then just making off with the occasional toe.
As long as you slew the enemy first. Oh, you made some changes to that rule, have you? And then Valinaru.
Hey guys, I'm Rod. I'll be playing Valinaru, so I'm Sorcerer, second level cleric. My character has been on making as much money and as much power to advance himself to the top of the pecking order, to a point that he's quite in it, just so he's got that chance to be one of the first to loot and make sure that he's well ahead of everyone else and a step above them.
So, as you can see, a party hell-bent on collaboration. And so in today's session, we've got a few people missing, but we won't let that spoil the fun. We'll be picking up right where we left off last session, as the party has the rest of the party from Acquisitions Incorporated that they rescued, and they're returning back to Waterdeep to go to Acquisitions Incorporated and hopefully trade their rescued party, not hostages, for some help in curing the disease. What are you guys doing?
One hostage.
One hostage, and the rest of them are just bystanders.
What time of day is it right now? Whereabouts are we again?
We sort of hit ourselves at the late afternoon. It's heading into 6 o'clock. The sun is quickly approaching the horizon as you surround yourself on one side by the mountains of the Sword Coast, and on the other side a grassland that leads its way to the road into Waterdeep.
Mm.
A sense of how quickly this monkey disease is advancing.
You guys have had probably close to, I'd say, 6 hours infected with the disease at this point. And besides the slow graying or silvering of the sort of a central line along the back of your hairline, and if you have back hair, across that as well. An increase of intellect was almost immediately noticeable, but more than that, it doesn't seem to be very aggressive.
I think we need to find a
urgency
healer.
for how quickly we. Yeah,
I think we
there's a
need
few
to,
of us with the monkey disease.
how about we take this hostage this person back to somewhere safe, and then we can get ourselves
Yeah,
sorted
no.
out.
So remind me, did you knock out the elven bitch, or did you just put her on a
Bound
hold?
and gagged. Bound
Down
and
and
gagged.
gagged, right? You
Heavy
hear
gang.
a
I took
swerve
that down as a special
and
note.
from the back of the party, and the rest of their group sort of turns to you all, and one of them says again, "I would really prefer if you didn't call her a hostage. We are trying to cooperate. We're legitimately trying to assist you in your quest since you saved us."
Yeah, I feel like I hear that, and so does the rest of the team. But some debts have to be paid. So for the moment, I think you just let the team enjoy the ability to be in control of the
Hey,
situation.
listen, I'm not the hostage here. I'm just trying to be the voice of moral reason.
Would she prefer collateral?
Okay, I'll take a consent at collateral. That seems like a reasonable compromise.
Yeah.
I'm glad we had this talk. Lead on.
I am really keen to try
I
and
wanna
get
get
this
a-
monkey off my back.
Sorry, what did you say?
Oh,
I'm really keen to try and get this monkey off my back. Where do we think? Do we need to find
Well
out
played.
if this is a spiritual thing or if this is just a healer thing?
all right, but well, let's take these back to the Acq Inc headquarters, and we'll go from there with the investigations. I think that's the first port of call here. We'll drag the elven hostage behind us on the ground, and the rest of us will make
collateral.
collateral on the ground, and we'll head back probably to Acq Inc's headquarters. I mean that was the deal. We return them and don't slaughter them, and the gratefulness of them will that their healers will take a great interest in solving a problem for us.
Yes, a foolproof strategy.
All right, let's do it.
And of course, still the hostage situation, whatever you want to call it, if we're not fixed, if the issues aren't solved for the members of the group, then somebody at least gets to have a bit of fun before they go and take her with them. So yeah, Gary's got it.
We'll hopefully find ourselves a way to resolve it before it gets to that extreme.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you hope so. I'm not too worried. I'm neither have to kill her nor am I got the monkey virus, but
I mean,
Yeah.
yes, you and I both.
Haven't killed anything in a while. Not since the nuke that went off.
Oh, yes. I did feel like they really did steal the limelight from the rest of you, didn't they?
Don't tempt my
Yeah.
young friend. My small
Oh,
friend. you know.
well, hopefully, I guess for your sake, we'll be ambushed by bandits on our way home, I guess?
I mean, yeah, pretty much.
Worst things could
All right,
happen.
all right.
Pretty much.
I'll attempt to look like a vulnerable target.
All right, let's say we charge onto the Acq Inc headquarters and get rid of this scum.
Let's
I
do it.
agree.
As we start our journey, I want to ask, I think the leader of their party, what was with the cave? We went in, we saw a completely different cave. We left, we went back in. Again, completely
The
different cave.
aristocratic elf wielding the two short swords looks at you and says, sort of in the melodic elven tone, "I do not know what happened and why it was that we experienced such a different fight to the rest of you. All I know is that cave is the one we walked into, and by the sounds of it, it is not the one you first saw."
Is that the first time you guys have entered that cave?
We, much like yourselves, were told that there was an opportunity to rescue an abundance of resources and valuables, And to my knowledge, and correct me if I'm wrong, but in the cave we were in, there was not resources. Did you stumble upon them?
No. We found
Deception check.
We
Roll
found
that bad
fungus.
boy.
You mean deception? Deception. That's a +5 that I had.
Oh, +5. That's the man to make it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's the
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's a 18 to deception when the right one was eventually rolled. Beautiful.
What? Why is it rolling twice?
It rolled strength first.
yours somehow yours looks like it's rolling for advantage.
It might be set up for that.
Got a constant roll for advantage.
Awesome. So yes, he seems to nod very thoughtfully, sort of taking one of his long elven locks and moving it out of his eyes as he looks at you again thoughtfully and says, "Then how was it that you were able to come and find us with such consistency? How many times did you have to re-enter the cave?"
Just the twice.
So
First, we were surprised when we went in. We believed that we were following a party because we met your friend outside. We get in there, we find a bunch of fungus. We don't find a whole heap of other things.
No, you did. You actually did end up bringing one of our party members with you, didn't you? I wonder
We did.
that was what allowed you to follow us. But if so, how did the cave know that we were bonded in that way?
Good question.
Magic caves, huh?
A magically seems to be the answer that I came to. But yes, I think this will not be the last time that we find ourselves venturing into this cave for probably many a reason.
The Cave of Requirement, is that what it's called?
Now that's a spicy take if ever I've had one.
Yeah, I wonder if we'll find Tumbleweed's army in there.
The Cave of Requirement. Well, I tell you what, I was not requiring to be captured by a bunch of goblins. But, maybe one of our party envisioned that. I just cannot say. I don't-
Ghost monkeys.
Yeah, I don't cavern shame people most of the time.
Right.
Oh
So,
dear.
Just so I'm clear, you don't intend to kill our colleague, do you?
I mean, intend is a strong word.
Kill is a strong
Accident.
word.
We
Accidents
will if we
happen.
have to.
Maim?
Well, I asked
I
that.
mean, we have discussed the idea that you heal us, or anyone with the disease +1 dies. So
Right.
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I don't want to say it's personal, but when you attack us, then with an intent to kill, that sometimes we hold that grudge.
Right. So the grudge is
Rubbed
not
the wrong
against
way.
us at Acq Inc in general, but rather against this particular part of Acq Inc for past transgressions.
Well, that's why there's only one person bound and gagged.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think that it's good. I don't appreciate it, but I'm also glad that your general sentiment is not against us as an organization.
no,
Hmm.
your job, your endeavors is not our concern. It's just this one person that's annoyed us in the past.
Well, that sounds like a perfectly reasonable and justified reaction to the current situation.
That's all we
Are you
need.
going into the cave for anything specific?
Well, we heard that there was potentially gold to be made from an artifact or two. Something about a red glowing gem was sort of passed to us, but we went in there without too much of a plan of what we would receive. Only that money was to be made.
And all we found was fungus.
Yes, well, fungus is such a strange addition.
What
But,
What happens when you take you back to Acquisitions Incorporated and you don't have said red glowing gem?
Oh well, simply put, we hope that our acquisitions BDR will be able to find ourselves another lead to pursue. We've got an entire team dedicated to sending to local parts of the community and constantly rewarding the community for leads that pan out. And if we don't get this one, we'll just have to try and find another opportunity for us to hopefully make our quotas for this quarter.
Okay. Alright, I think it's about time we get rid of these goons and move on.
Just
Well,
out of
yes, sir.
curiosity, you're
Yes.
talking about your quarterly gains and try to meet quotas. Do you have
Yes.
year-on-year growth that you're trying to achieve, or?
Well, you see, it's the way that we're able to actually move our way up the ranks as Acquisitions Incorporated. I started off as a pure acquirer. I was a junior acquirer, and through hard work and determination, I was able to prove myself to eventually be a lead acquirer, and now I manage a team of junior acquirers who you see around you now. It's always a lead acquirer with a team of junior acquirers, so you sort of, by achieving year-on-year growth, you do set yourself up for a future of success in Acquisitions Incorporated.
Sounds like a lot of layers of crap. Should just do what we do, go and kill stuff and clean up the mess of Acq Inc, I guess.
But once you get to a certain size, scalability comes into effect, and you just can't achieve the scalability with wanton murder.
Yeah, but I mean, we still
department.
saved you, so,
Right? And who runs the hiring puzzles if not for HR? Like it's just a lot of effort to go through hiring an entire coliseum of murdering recruits. Without that department.
I guess it just reminds me of a very old saying coming from my forest gnome hometown.
I'm so ready for this.
It's very simple and very profound. Get good. That's just get good.
I have heard it uttered in the taverns. Often when somebody loses in gambling. Is that a common use case?
Yeah.
Right. In the elven forests where I grew up, we often say that the best tree grows the tallest.
I cut trees down with my axe sometimes.
That is profoundly concerning, but I guess
tall ones especially.
Well,
I take their toes.
I guess then the shortest gnome is the best.
Correct answer. You didn't need to finish that quote. It was complete.
Oh, perfect. All right. Well, no, I find a lot of you quite entertaining, and I do hope that we can resolve this in a pleasant manner.
Yeah, I just realized that I'm just rambling while the rest of us are getting, all of the infected ones are getting more and more silver. So why don't we make haste?
Oh, look, there's Waterdeep. I think I see it in the horizon. We're approaching it within no time.
Fantastic.
The Acq Inc headquarters really ostentatious.
Well, we started off with quite a humble office, but as we've grown recently, we've expanded, and we've got ourselves a small sort of town business, and we've got actually a third floor as of recently. We decided to go for the sort of more traditional enterprise look with white marble floors with the gold trim. We thought that was sort of made us more relatable. But yes, it's pretty helpful.
That what I'm hearing by this white marble floor is that they're not only going to give us a significant amount of resources to help heal us, they're going to pay us for the return to death people, a lot. If they've got white marble floors, they're paying us, mate.
Oh yeah. Money and power. Get what we need.
Like a cure while we're at it,
I mean, it wouldn't go harm.
That'd be
Where
nice.
would it?
Would be nice.
This rash
That's,
healing itself.
As you guys approach,
It's
the
fine.
city starts to rise up from the horizon, and the sandstone walls appear with the large gates that are currently lifted up, allowing free entry into the city. You see guardsmen fill both the towers on either side of the entrance, as well as standing behind the entrance, ready to strike if anybody were to come wishing harm upon the city. Seeing you return, the guards let you in. They all know of at least Acquisitions Incorporated in the city, and welcome you in with ease. And as you walk in, the leader of the party that you're accompanying says, "If you'd like, I could lead the way, and I'd take you directly to Acquisitions Incorporated." Yes, all right. Well, no matter. Let's head off that way.
Let's.
So, heading you sort of deeper into the city, you eventually go through, the Docklands. You go into the heart of the city, and eventually to one of the nicer business districts where most of the lawyers and the Acquisitions Incorporated headquarters are. You find yourself in front of a very clean building with a large sign carved in stone out the front that says in large writings, Acquisitions Incorporated, the best adventurers for your every need.
Gary, get a look at this sign. Get a look at this sign.
Best
yeah.
adventures for getting captured by a bunch of goblins.
We should put up, we saved the best adventurers from Los Outdoors or something.
No, please. I think you're just rubbing salt in the wounds.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Totally fine. I mean, you could be wounds or corpses. You choose which one you're down with,
Yes, well done saving the best adventurers for every need, then. Right this way.
Like I should use
And,
Scorching Bolt to rewrite this sign.
Yeah, please, let's make enemies of the entire department of Acq Inc. So the doors sort of open as you approach. Seeming by magic, they swing inwards. And inside, you feel a cool breeze coming from inside, which is very odd for this time of year, being a balmy summer. You head inside, and the foyer is just clean, empty. It has comfortable chairs surrounding nice wooden coffee tables. And off to the right is a receptionist behind a gorgeous marble table. As she stands up, looking over the table, a bit short herself, you see a pretty dwarven woman, if not a little bit on the older side, who smiles at you all and says, "Welcome to Acquisitions Incorporated. How can I help you today?"
Well, hello there.
Shove the elven woman forward, and I go, "You appear to have lost this."
Well, I'm not sure I understand.
We have
Save your-
managed to find and recover a couple of incorporated acquirers that haven't acquired much.
Oh, you've acquired some acquirers. I see. Now, what is it that you're attempting to do with them?
Safely return them should the means arise. Should the opportunity arise to
Well,
return them.
You found the right place.
Well, who can we talk to about a few things they were doing? Because got some questions about the venture they were on, the quest they were on.
You see the leader of the party step forward and say, "Listen, Nigel, it's fine. They're with me. We're seeking to talk to what do we say, Jonathan. Hopefully we can get some seniority to just hear them out and to potentially just give a download. They seem to be well worthy of our time." And Nigel smiles and says, "Well, certainly. I guess you could go up there now. He's he's not in a meeting, but I hope you know what you're doing. And he says, yes, I think he'll understand the importance of this gathering. And she says, well, enjoy. Welcome to Acq Inc. And she hands you all sort of twine, beautifully braided, with the sort of printed, like, let's say, iron cards on them, which has sort of a visitor ID. You could see even sort of small crystal embedded into each one that you feel has a bit of a magical potency. And the leader of the party says to you,
Yeah, they're
yes,
gonna pay so much.
you won't be able to enter without
Look at
without
this
your
fancy crap.
visitor's badge. Just make sure that you swipe it on the near the large crystal there on the counter. Otherwise, it loses its charge, and you won't be able to use it getting up into the magical lifts into the higher floors.
Flynn, this place is so fancy. We should get like a floor and a desk or something. This place is fancy as.
We should just pick up a desk on the way
They're
out.
definitely gonna pay.
I'm banking on it.
After you guys get it fixed and stuff, but
Maybe one of us should wait outside with the elven woman.
No, I think she comes with us. She comes with us.
Yes, I think that Jonathan would rather prefer to see her unharmed.
Okay, fine.
Oh, Jonathan better play ball.
He's not great at any ball sports, but a fantastic acquirer. Happy to find you someone better, but I think this is probably more close to what your needs are.
Let's go.
Swipe my tag on the magical crystal.
So you wipe it on, and you see a slight glow permeate from the sort of metallic card in your hand, and you feel sort of a slight hum to it, touching it after that.
I follow suit. I was just like a security gate we're walking through.
Beautiful. The rest of the team from Acq Inc also go through. Their cards are a different metal. They sort of have a bluish tint to them, where yours are sort of a grey metal, and they eventually lead the way. And he says, "Well, let me open up the lifts here then." Swiping the card on a big sort of crystal receiver at the lift, you see the doors again swing open outwards as the sound of the rock walls moving, as the lift is there now, open to you all to step in. And
Seems fussed about our weapons, do they?
no, I think if there's any place that's comfortable with you having weapons, it's a place full of people with bigger weapons. It's like open carry laws in USA, right? Like, as long as everybody's got weapons. Like
Open carry, right? Open carry.
Yeah, open carry.
Hey, who's got their hands on the elven bitch?
I
Who's
think
actually?
Flint's got it. No, Gary's got
right.
it. Have you got it, Gary?
Flint and Gary either side. Flint and Gary either side.
Yeah.
Right.
Cool.
I'm just looking around. Hey, boys, there's a lot of weapons here. They may not be excited that we've got one of them chained up. I reckon you just make sure they know we're serious. Maybe just have a blade on her. I want them to know we're serious about this. Let's not think that we've accidentally caught the wrong person or something.
Yes, we need to use her as leverage, not just a mistaken grab.
Yeah.
I hear
So do you guys
Spear in
pull
one hand.
a knife on this woman?
Say again, Gary?
No, just we're I think Flint and I flanking her. I've got my spear in one hand and she's in the other.
Mm-hmm.
Just one either side.
Right, so no sort of knife at the jugular type of thing.
No, not the jugular, but I'm holding onto her arm as we walk with her.
That's fine. I think
She's not being escorted at the day spa.
No.
nice. So you eventually get led up to the sort of top floor, and the leader of the party says, "Okay, well, just relax as you enter here. This is where the best of our acquirers work. and it's also where our management is currently. So I would just suggest for both your well-being and ours, considering our proximity to you, no sudden movements would be highly preferred. How does that sound?
I'm okay.
Yeah,
with that.
sure.
No violence unless threatened. Can we at least agree on that?
I don't think we'll be
Yeah,
prepared.
that's fine.
Yes.
Agreed.
Wonderful. Well, let's continue our way in there. And swiping the card again at the third floor, the doors swing open, and instead of just cold air, you also now smell lavender and the softest hints of hazelnut brew coming from the dedicated kitchen as it sort of comes through and hits your noses. You see here some of the most well-dressed acquirers that you've ever seen. You see some of the men dressed in the perfect bespoke leather acquiring gear. Some of them even having very expensive, well-decorated belts that contain their weapons and ammo. Some of the women seeming far too beautiful for people that you can see are so well equipped to murder you, as they are dressed to the nines in the adventuring gear that seems both protective and somehow very suiting for women of their status. And
A very different story had we actually passed that first trial.
and you walk in and
Middle management.
yeah, this is life, right? You walk in and eventually get to another set of doors where again stands a receptionist of sorts, and this time a man with a moustache that trails down below his chin, but very well manicured and well dressed, fitting the rest of the people in this room. He says, "Good afternoon, and what is it that I can do for you?" The leader comes up and says, "Well, we've got ourselves a bit of a situation," and he looks back over his shoulder at the elven bitch, and he says, "You see, we had a little altercation, and really all we're trying to do is ensure that we have the compensation from management that's required to resolve said altercation. And we'd really need to talk to Jonathan to get that to happen." And he says, "And your name, please?" He says, "Yes, I am Aganther." Your last name Aganther? Aganther Woodbourne. And he says,
All these layers
Oh.
of management, you'd think they'd know some of the people in the business.
this
First
receptionist.
First time here, Gunther? First time, mate?
You see, I don't know.
How long have
Sometimes
you worked here?
as you rotate in and out, management, sometimes they know you, sometimes they don't. It's just the way of the world. And he says, "All right, well, I guess that you can come in then. Let me just send to Jonathan and see if he's willing to have guests." And looking over, you can see that the receptionist looks at the bitch to sort of see what situation she's in. Are you guys doing anything to sort of illustrate the fact that?
Oh yeah, I've just got
Yeah.
the axe out. I'm just thumping it on the ground. I just yell out to the receptionist, "Hey mate, it's not a question of whether or not he's looking for guests. We're seeing him."
All right. Well, please just if you could just take a seat over here, pointing to some beautiful, feathered pillowed couches that are unlike that which you see almost anywhere else. And he says, "If you would just like to take a seat over here, I will call you up once Jonathan is ready to see you."
He should be ready very soon.
Oh, I'm sure he
Yeah,
will.
I'm not going to take a seat.
Well, fine.
We'll see him in a minute.
Other than that, can I offer you a hazelnut brew?
Yeah, I'll have a hazelnut brew.
Pretty sure Val's into a hazelnut brew.
He's going straight for it.
Going straight for it.
Oh, beautiful. Well, if you just wait here, I'm sure that Jonathan will be out in just a second, and I'll go bring you some brews to enjoy. Water for anybody else, or just not thirsty?
Make haste, boy. Go and get Jonathan for us.
All right. Well, that's the way you want to play it. That's fine. I'll be back in a second. And he walks off, and Agantha looks at you all and says, "Receptionists, what are you going to do about it?"
What are you gonna do?
Hold
And,
the power. Don't piss off the
Hey,
receptionist.
too. I've in several occasions had a perfect lead that disappeared because I wasn't able to get the budget approvals. It's just so hit and miss.
Agatha, if that's the case, why didn't you just, put a small coin purse on the table or something? Do you not care for the elven bitches, life?
Well, I mean, in as much as it would look bad on my report card as a lead acquirer, but she is one of many recruits that we get throughout the year. So
Boys, have we got the wrong person in a gag here? I mean, the ultimate plan is to get you all healed up. If we've got a worthless bargaining chip, maybe it's old mate over here, lead acquirer, that should have the cuffs on.
Are you trying to whisper this, or you say this in front of him?
He's got us this far.
He's not going anywhere.
He's got us into the building.
I do think we need an exit strategy.
I fear that if we go, if we escalate, then they escalate, and we're outnumbered, outclassed, outgunned.
Flint, you got any more of them fireball arrows?
No, I think you're
Remember
talking
you
about
got
a
that,
different
that
person.
amulet?
Okay.
I must have had a dream about that last night.
I
My bad, mate.
believe that's a super sexy ranger who sweet talks every man and gets kind of handsy named Ren.
You do what you can in a busy city.
Now you mention it, it definitely was a dream I had last night. Sneaky hen. Sneaky ren.
As you all continue to sort of talk, the door behind the receptionist counter swings open, and a large man walks out carrying a massive sword across their back, wearing very little except for a brace that holds the weapon to them, as well as some leather breeches, sort of not seeming to care as much as the rest of the people in here about their appearance, but with a dominating presence. And as they step out, they say, "All right, now what is it, and why have I been interrupted?"
Must be Jonathan then, young sir.
That's who I am, and who are you?
My name is Alan Aru. I am here with my band of incredibly small amigos.
Now, I appreciate the introductions, I really do. But if you don't mind, I'd really like to understand the reason.
So let's be very clear, Jonathan. As I walked into this place, I saw a lovely sign that you have out the front.
You are walking up to a man, and you're looking up at him, and he's about 4 times your height. As you stare up at this dude, and you're just nonchalantly just giving him the talk.
I just crawl up onto the receptionist desk. Right, I'm looking at him now. I'm looking him eyes to pecs.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Right, Jonathan, listen up. As I walked into this place, I saw a lovely sign, something about the best something or other.
Adventuring club.
Right.
The best adventure for every situation, yes.
Yes, very well. I'm glad you got all of those words out.
Marketing does some amazing work.
Well, they do better work than your adventurers, because we picked this crew up, tied up, on their ass, waiting to get served for dinner in a cave.
Agantha, really? Is this what I'm dealing with now, Agantha? I told you last time that if you didn't somehow get a good performance out of this team, that you might lose your leadership of a team in general.
You know
Yeah.
what? Agantha's
Sounds more like
not been
a
so bad. I'd get rid of the losers in the team. What we do have though is word from Agantha that he's gonna provide some assistance for us returning the team unharmed.
Mm-hmm.
And
what
instead
did
of
you promise?
Well, I just motioned to Flint to turn around. You can see we've got a slight silvering issue. Some of the team, while out adventuring your adventurers, had a slight issue with some description of see-through ghost gorillas, and we have an issue now that requires some expertise in healing. Agatha here tells us that you've not only got great healers, you've got the best healers. What we need from them,
For every need.
fantastic. What we need of them is a diagnosis and an idea of how to cure this issue.
Well, you've come after most of our adventurers have returned home. But if you're willing to return tomorrow, I see no reason why I can't set up a meeting with you and our healing division.
Fantastic. Has this place got a barracks?
I mean, we pay our employees well enough to have houses.
This place got a place we can have a decent feed?
Do you not have a house?
We have houses.
I mean, there's the cafeteria. If you
That's
follow the
decent.
that well, okay, listen. Now, our cafeteria has many things, but our cooking department is pretty much the best department we have.
And what about your brewing department?
See, alcohol is not allowed on the job, unfortunately. But I've got a little bottle. little bottle.
Little bottle, good Gary.
I think the sign out front should actually read the best Girl Scouts division in Waterdeep.
All right. Well, Jonathan, I do have to inform you of one small issue. Our team had previously had an encounter with this particular elven individual that we have locked up at the moment. Now,
As you were the group that didn't make it through the trial.
yeah, a small issue with that. The one in change fireballed us midway through a session.
Oh, what a
during
brilliant
that
trial!
trial.
Wasn't it? She was able to dismantle her competition in a single move.
Yeah, I mean, the only problem with that is we don't like being fireballed. And while we have nothing against yourself and the Acq Inc crew, hence we return them, we do have a personal grudge. So while we leave for the evening and return tomorrow to find out about the healing, we are keeping her as our personal, how do we say, contract.
Now, I understand that your position. I also am obligated to not let you take a woman into your accommodation overnight. Just from a HR perspective, a nightmare, absolute nightmare.
Yes, I can understand. We were hearing before about your layers of crap management.
How much collateral do you need before you're willing to let her return?
All I'm saying is that the members of this team are very, 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 very upset. And I say very because I don't have a large vocabulary. What I do have is a large anger towards this individual.
We have great adventurer insurance, and I think that I'd be able to make a claim as collateral for you sort of letting her go. And
it sounds like the sort of paperwork that you'd be talking about in the crap management layers, like we're talking. Well, can you get to it for me here, please?
Oh well, I'm happy to take an advance and come out of the company, but I think I could get reimbursed for it. So my suggestion would be that I give you a sum of money, which you have not yet determined, and you let the elven adventurer go, and then we can continue to discuss your healing. And if you are healed, we can figure out how much money you give back to us as its collateral. And if you are not healed, you can keep the full sum. How does that sound?
There's one part of that.
In writing.
There's also one part of that I'm not completely on board with, is that we're not delivering this person. While we may not take them home, they're still our, what's the word we used, collateral.
Yes,
Has this place got a dungeon? Yeah, I mean, if people aren't healed,
of course.
I feel that the individual in chains needs to end up in the dungeon until such time as the healing is complete. At which point, then we will return her, and she would be considered yours again.
I'll
free employee.
I'll come with you in a sort of a neutral manner. How about I have a couple of friends that are part of the city guard, and if I was to get them to keep her overnight safely in one of their cells, instead of them being in our dungeons, which we obviously control, or in your custody, then perhaps we could come to an agreement that they're still technically collateral for you, but they're safe, and we can both assure that they are not going to run away.
I just look around to the others who are nearby. Thoughts? Yes? No? You happy with that? City
Works,
guard?
but I feel like we still need some sort of guarantee that.
Well, we're
your
taking half the money right now, and we'll get the other half shortly.
And a written assurance that we come back and healing is performed.
Well, you'll be able to. I'll give you pro bono services of our healing department. I again make no assurances.
Not leaving without some paper.
No paper. We can get you.
No, as in this written down.
All right. Well, come with me to my office then. And he sort of waves his hand and just marches through the door again. The sword on his back, swinging side to side.
Is there anything interesting in the office as we enter?
As you walk into those doors, you see gorgeous glass-walled offices on either side of this corridor. All of them having a view out over Waterdeep. As you make your way through here, you can see that there's greenery. Some of them have a miniaturized waterfall as you pass through. As you see a sort of a strong dwarf sitting behind a desk. You head in further, you see an elf barely through an office that looks like it was just covered in a forest. Furthermore,
Lovely forest you've got here. Reminds me of home.
Yes,
Quite lovely.
not my particular design palette, but they prefer it.
Good, someone's got taste at least, I guess.
Then you get to this dude's office, and it's a miniaturized coliseum that they've built out. You sort of see that as the wall sort of build out, and they've got seating that sort of curves around to their desk that matches that of a coliseum. There's sort of 3 tiers to it, and his his desk sits proudly in the center of this sort of coliseum, as behind you see the view of the city as well. And he says, please take a seat. And he points to the sort of stadium around his desk.
You
he
often
says,
get
sorry, what was that?
so you often get a crowd watching you work, do you?
Oh, well, I find that if I can't be out there in the Colosseum, I'll bring the Colosseum to me. And these days, the closest I get to fighting is, writing a word wrong.
I like your style.
Would you like to fight, John?
Compensating.
Put that giant sword to good use, huh? I just nudge. I nudge Val, like clearly compensating.
Some people say the pen is mightier than the sword, but I have always found decapitation quells my hunger far more.
Really, judging by that stomach, mate, you've had a lot of hunger quenching. All
right, you want this contract signed or not?
Let's do it. Make it happen. Make it so.
He starts writing out.
Someone's got some body issues.
While he's signing contracts and writing things, I just look on his desk and start picking things up.
What? Please stop. Is somebody in control of this person?
Hey!
My
No, he's
bad.
in control.
I just appreciate this is my personal space, I'll have you wait outside.
Hey, look, if you put shiny things on your desk, I'm allowed to have a look at them. They're on the desk.
Oh, all right. Well, just be gentle. And you see on the desk is like shackles that were used to like chain someone to a wall at some point in this guy's life. You see a dagger in a glass case still crusted with blood. You see sort of a tooth that seems to be sort of significant. It looks sort of reptilian. That's also being sort of memorialized in a sort of a specimen display case.
Pick it up. This looks pretty cool. Look at this. Hey, nice tooth, mate. What was this in?
The first kill I ever got.
Ah, you killed a deer or something, did you?
Oh,
Good on ya.
It was a lizard folk.
Ah,
We were put into the arena, and they came running at me, and there was a few of them, but the others went for some easier prey. But this one stared me down. I even blink. I went right for him. And, his teeth came out real quick. He latched onto my arm. But what I did then is
just you and one other bloke, mate. Oh,
I grabbed his jaws, I ripped him open, snapped a tooth off, and then brained him with it.
Jonathan, this sounds very much like my Mixander, this servant Talos, which has been done all these amazing things just like you. It sounds very similar.
Well, I'm glad I'm in good company. Anyway, here's the note, and he quickly writes down, Jonathan will give people money for Elven recruit, and sign Jonathan Sebastian, and here you go.
Will render medical aid.
Oh, sorry.
This is, Gary, you reading it, mate? You're all good.
And you see them like
medical aid.
They put the slight little like when you put the arrow pointing upwards, and then he writes in the additional details, and will provide medical aid. Yep, here you go. Is that all you need from me?
We're good. Gary, now, Flynn,
Now,
we're good. All the right words.
I'll leave Agantha to accompany you with the Elven recruit to the guards, and he writes down another quick note, seals it with his Acq Inc seal, and says, there you go. And that should get her held there for the time being. And you can see she's sort of squirming, just really frustrated at the fact that she's not being listened to at all. And Jonathan says, all right, pleasure doing business with you. If any of you ever want to get into the sparring ring, you know where to come call in for me.
Maybe we can get one of your teeth.
Listen, you guys wouldn't happen to be interested in doing a bit of a job, would you?
What's the job?
Well, there's a job here that I need doing. It's a good opportunity. Our current team here, as you've just noticed, is a bit... they haven't really been driving the revenue as we need it. Now,
Clearly.
I'm willing to
Sure.
give you a shot as a partner organization to maybe do some of the adventuring that needs a special touch.
That sounds quite up our alley. We are rather special adventurers.
Now,
Job.
I've heard of a prize that is actually in town. Now, there's a manor up in the northern wards that's rumored to have a purple glow coming from it. And as they say, where there's ominous glow, there's got to be rewards.
I do know that.
Alexander says also.
That's the first I've heard of that one.
Or on.
So
Or on.
no, I don't necessarily know what to expect, but if you can bring me whatever is glowing purple, then I will make sure to reward you, and perhaps if it goes well, there could be some future contracts for when our team's just not up to the challenge.
If it comes with us.
Jonathan, I have one question.
Yes.
I have offered us pro bono healing. Like, if we're going to do this mission to help you gain greater revenue, probably going to need some healing before we hit this glow. Potions have you got you can offer us?
Well, I mean, I could set you up with our standard kit out if you'd like. It includes healing potion for each of our adventurers. It's the least we can do before sending them out into certain danger. But any of the other employment benefits, unfortunately, due to the way that the contracts are lined up, you just would not be eligible for without working for Acq Inc specifically.
So what's the reward for us?
Well, like I said, if jobs are what you're interested in, there's more jobs coming from you. We have the best jobs coming to us, simply by nature of our reputation. And other than that, money, and if you ever need any resources, I'm sure that we would be able to provide them in a much better way than you'd be able to source without our resources.
There's no payoff for this job. It's a payoff of more jobs.
Now you'll get your commission as well as a reward sum.
Yeah, what are we talking?
Well, our reward scheme is pretty simple. We typically categorize our jobs. This one's about a 3 out of 10 as far as difficulty is concerned. We're not expecting much. It is in town. It's not out of town. We've not seen any other details coming through. So relatively low danger. I think you're more than capable of it. But otherwise, you'd probably be looking at, I'd say, so typically we multiply it out, so 10 gold pieces per difficulty level of assignment per person. So you'd be looking at 30 gold pieces each for this. And then whatever you get back, we'll also give you a cut of the revenue as well. So it is a 5% per difficulty level. So in this case, you'd be looking at 15%.
And what about our status within these grounds? What would be seen?
Like I said, that we have multiple levels of partnership in the organization. So you're currently not at all part of our partner program yet. But as you prove yourself, I'd be very willing to expedite your partnership progress, and you'd probably become maybe bronze status immediately, and from there we can see whether or not you would work your way up to maybe even a silver partner before the month is done.
Is bronze where you normally start people who save the lives of your full-time employees?
So I simply have to follow the conduct. It's imagine what all the other adventuring parties that we would think if you just doing one thing for us got you to skip it. I will do what I can to accelerate you as fast as possible, but my hands are tied.
This feels very corporate. Look, I'm not negotiating this corporate stuff.
I'm so glad we finally got the corporate bullshit and the acquisitions incorporated.
Agathon's coming with us.
So
Again.
Angatha?
Agatha?
Why do I make up that name? Convoluted.
For anyone playing along, if you can spot how many sales buzzwords were just in that last 5-minute piece.
If you hit 12 points on your 32k, then you'll get a 9-point increase. And if you work from silver to bronze, you might make it to platinum before the end of the 4th quarter. As long as you have 32% year-on-year growth, and your quarterly numbers are up.
Then you'll be lucky enough to make the President's Club. When you make President's Club.
Now, Acq Inc does a great President's Club. You better believe it.
It's not one of those hot springs in the Sword Mountains, is it?
Oh no, we go straight to hell for our hot springs.
Yeah.
Tied to the source. The ninth realm is where the holiday resort is held.
Special guest speaker Tony Robbins.
Yeah,
All right. Do you want to have a short break before we keep going?
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Definitely,
What's it? Sorry.
definitely ensuring that Agatha
Agatha?
is coming.
Gantha.
Yes.
Agatha.
What's Aggie's short name? What are we going to call him? Aggie? Gaff? Gaffer? Gaff
Actually,
boy?
I do
G
prefer
Dizzle?
that if you have to give me a nickname that you
G
call
Dizzle?
Whisperwood.
The G spot?
Again,
Yeah, we're not, we're not calling you Whisperwood.
Whisperwood.
Whispering Willows?
I'll take it.
Dickwood.
Willows. Let's call him Willie. That's his name now,
Willie.
Willie.
There it is.
He's like,
Well,
God damn.
We got there.
I
Right,
guess
I don't
he's-
like Willie.
you can take a Ganther with you. After the performance of today, I think he needs to go back to some fundamentals and learning from a partner with your success record. It's probably not misspent.
Well done,
He
Willie.
doesn't
You
get a
joined
cut.
us. Congratulations.
He doesn't get a cut.
Well,
He's
already got his employment package, and he'll get comped as well on his performance here if you all succeed. But it's a double bubble, so it won't take away any of your revenue.
Now, when we get back, remind him about this education process we've had to put his team through, and make sure we charge him for that as well as additional
Yeah.
payments.
Put it in the bill.
Yeah.
Just so I'm clear, I
Ongoing
really
support.
think that a matter of priority is getting this grey shit off my back, and
No, that's right. You guys are sick.
we're still
I forgot about that.
really smart, but
Caught up in all this bloody corporate bull crap.
I really need a bit of a
We come
long
back in the-
snooze and
we're coming back in the morning.
to fix this shit.
Well, look, we've got a good afternoon. There's nothing really holding us back. There's no healers around. He's already said that. We can go and get on the terps, or we can, go and kill something, get some glowy stuff, and then get on the terps. And, let's be clear, after seeing the nuclear bomb go off last week, I'm keen to sink my axe into something, if there's something around, just saying. And then we'll get your grey stuff looked at.
You know that it's probably not going to become worse in the next 24 hours, or at least much worse.
That's fine.
Well,
I would
let's be
still
honest.
really like to have a quick rest to at least recover some of my energy. Arcana?
Yeah. Look, Flint, mate, with all this grey stuff going on that keeps increasing your intelligence, I'm fine. If you want to make the choice, you're the smart one around here. I'm just the brains and the beauty and the axe,
And do we
and
know
the toes.
The soap I'd love
It's
to watch.
territory.
All right, awesome. So, a recovery for the night, and maybe tackling whatever tomorrow holds with a full rest.
That sounds good
There
to
you
me.
go.
Elvin bitch goes to jail.
Yeah.
We
So you
rest.
guys take her to jail, and you all
Do not pass go, do not collect 200.
you guys all manage to make your way to wherever you want to spend the night. You do have your office building, but you also have some accommodation that your sponsor would surely pay for at the inn.
Just head to the inn, have a couple of pints.
Nice. So awesome. Welcome back from a well-deserved break. Our adventurers seek now to go and find out what is going on with the purple glow in the house, but only after a good rest for the evening, and for some, a hearty drinking session, followed by hopefully lots of merriment or a hangover, depending on how things go. How are we all doing in the morning once we've all sort of gone and rested?
As Flint gets up, he thinks it's ready for
Like-
breakfast. Need some sausages and bacon and eggs.
Mm-hmm.
Like to say that in the
Sue's very
meantime,
sober.
Very sober. What
Yeah.
happened?
Yeah. Just a very lame night. Everyone feeling ill, went to bed reasonably early. Bloody sucks.
Yeah, sometimes not every night's a winner in Waterdeep. Too much water, not enough alcohol. It happens.
Yeah. Just stayed up all night, just sharpening the axe.
Yep.
Not a great axe if you don't make it great.
It's about the work you put into it.
That's it. Ain't just gonna slice through them toes by itself.
Overnight, Gary got into a few rounds of darts and cards with his braces of tavern brawling. Didn't start any fights, but
Wanted to.
had advantage on a lot of games, parlor games.
Amazing, well done.
So 10,000 gold.
Yeah, go. As long as that number just keeps rising. I feel like we're gonna have a real accounting problem when we actually do get to buying something of note. Is it 70,000 gold that we have? Yeah, it has to be.
We left the zero, mate. 700,000. Wow.
Give or take.
Yeah, a couple of 100K.
We'll just buy dragons as pets.
What are you guys wanting to do now that you've sort of rested and have a lead, as well as hopefully a quest for healing?
Have any, like, I'm assuming we got kitted out already with healing potions and...
You'll get kitted out with that if you go in today to Acq Inc again.
Yes,
Yeah, let's head back.
All right. Well, let's go see him and get some details about where we're actually going to go, where this purple haze is. I once had a song called Purple Haze by a fantastic bloke. A little bit interesting, with just some interesting clothing, but could sing. Purple haze, purple haze. Anyway, let's go and see this fella.
You hear like some of the local tavern people start to like sway with you as you start to sing. You stop singing. He's like, "Oh mate, if you're gonna sing, you gotta keep it going. Don't do a man like that."
Nothing for free, brother. We'll see how we go last time. Like I said, last night was very sober.
All right, let's hope that the rewards of today will make it far less sobering.
we need a bard. We need a bard in the team.
So you do have one. They just are a mystery and an enigma.
That's true, we do.
So you end up making your way back to Acq Inc headquarters. Much more bustling now that you've come in during business hours. And again, you walk in, and the dwarven woman greets you all. She says, "Good morning. How are all of you today?"
Okay.
Oh, well, hopefully I'll put a smile on your face. I've got 4 lanyards ready to go for you.
Bloody lanyards.
Now, you'll find the healing department, as I understand you're here to see, on the second floor. And Ganther has already made his way in and is waiting for you there when you are ready.
Fantastic.
All right, let's get this over and done with. Come on, gentlemen.
Don't forget to scan your cards on the crystal, otherwise you will have no way of getting out.
Got it. Bump the card on the crystal.
Just a reminder, we probably need to grab a bottle of something for our defense neck.
A bottle of something?
Whatever we get cured of, we might need
All right. Go ahead and find out what the solution is. I'm not the doctor, I'm just the receptionist. And you can go in there and you can have your consultation. And again, there is waiting for you, and hopefully that'll be all you need. Is there anything else?
Level 2, you said?
Yes, that's right. Level 2, if you head up there, you want to take a first left. You're going to walk all the way. You'll hit a dead end, and you want to take a right. And you'll see a big red cross on a door towards the end of the hall, and that's where you'll find the healing department.
Sounds very apt. Let's head up.
Well, let's go for a walk.
The receptionist sneezes and lets you all sort of in through and says that, well, welcome again to Acquisitions Incorporated, where you'll find the best adventurers for every need. Enjoy your day.
This again. Yes, thank you.
So you head in again, tapping your cards on the crystal at the door. They slide open with the slight sound of stone grinding on stone as you find yourself in the open area of the lift.
We're just waiting for this lift.
You head in, and eventually the door, the power goes out of the door, and the door closes. And once the door closes, you see 3 lights light up on the panel on the wall, with a 1, 2, and a 3 on each of them, sort of a place to scan your card.
Gary, mate, this place is hilarious. Not only they got layers of management, they literally have layers in this building. It's bloody ludicrous.
You just hear this music of.
It's like you can see a cutout at the top, and
There's a bloody flute
yeah.
in the vent, mate.
you hear like somebody playing an actual instrument from sort of an aside adjacent room that's sort of carrying through the elevator, and you hear as you guys get in that the instrument starts do 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 do.
I'm going to be bloody humming this all afternoon.
And
Just
you guys
imagining Blues Brothers, the lift scene. Level 2.
Scanning level 2. you feel
Tempting to hit level 3.
you feel the lurch of the lift as you find your way, slowly making your way to level 2, and again it swings open, showing you to a floor you have not seen before. Now on this floor, the people you see are a little bit, more down to earth. They seem to be dressed more normally. Those that do have armor seem to be a bit more mismatched. They don't have the same sort of coherent, well put together gear that obviously the wealthy acquirers above them have. But you can see most of them are sort of have a good weapon and seem to be at least working their way towards acquiring such an armor set.
Great. So it was left.
Looks like our sort of people.
Do you walk your way towards the healing department as she instructed?
Yes, I think me and Gary are pretty keen to get healed.
All right.
I pick up things as we walk along.
You find yourself a quill. You find yourself a sort of scroll of parchment. You find yourself a leather ball that is on somebody's desk. A drawing of a child that matches one of the workers that you see, sort of very similar to them. And as you eventually round the corner, it gets far more it gets far more clinical, and things start to sort of the desks start to disappear, and you see rather a few rooms that seem like meeting rooms. And again, as you hit that dead end on the right, you see down the hall is the door with the big red cross on it.
X marks the spot, boys. Let's go and get you healed up.
Is Willie here at all? Can you see Willie anywhere?
Not yet.
All right.
So you eventually head into the door, and in the waiting room there, you see a Ganther who looks at you.
Willie! G'day, Willie!
May the forests guide you. How are you all today?
Feeling
Yeah, good, Willie.
Could be better.
Good, mate.
I'm glad that you have all rested. I have come here and informed them all of the blight that so worries you. They seem concerned, but they wanted to speak to you before giving me the diagnoses.
That's generally how diagnoses go. They usually do look at the person. Whip off your shirt, Flint. Show 'em your man boobs.
Show 'em the pecs.
Oh, it's just this raging hairy hair all over my
Now, if we could get ourselves into the room where they look at us before they take off the shirts, I think that would be much appreciated.
Yeah, Gary, put it back on, mate. Bloody hell. Get nude anyway.
So you guys head in, and there's a doctor waiting for you in one of the inspection rooms, and it's another elven man dressed in a white coat with a sort of spectacles on that make his eyes look rather large, and he welcomes you all in. Obviously, much more city bound than Agantha ever was, with shorter hair, much more practical, and he says, "Welcome to my inspection bay. I will be your practitioner of the healing arts today. I was informed by Jonathan that you all are in danger of some affliction, and it seems that you're graying. Is that correct?"
All of them, anyway.
Yes.
Right. So it's not affecting you all. Is that right?
Well, not the good-looking.
Two of us here,
Sue,
one
shush.
who is away.
All right. Well, that seems fair enough. Can I have a look at who? If are you the one infected? He points to you, Flint.
I'm one of
And who's the other one?
Gary here next to me.
Could you both please show me the effects, please? I'd like to be able to compare to ensure they're the same effect.
Now's the time to show me your man boobs, Gary. Not earlier now, mate.
Anyway,
Make an intimidation check.
healthy seeker.
With your beautiful 7 intimidation, he is not worried at your micro pecs.
Yeah.
You ain't no Terry Crews.
I feel like Mark might actually be out taking his shirt off somewhere. We lost him on video.
He's just gonna come back.
It's too sexy
If
for the camera.
you're on the stream, you could be about to see some man boobs, hairy nipples. Good
There's
thing we've
one
got the
way-
18 age content filter
One
button.
way for us to lose any sort of Twitch following.
Once
Yep.
Gary does his thing and fails miserably, Flint's like, that's not a chest, and just rips his armor off to show his.
There's a chest. Beautiful.
And
So the guy sort of pushing his spectacles up comes immediately over to you and sort of lifts up your arm like a tailor trying to see all of the pieces. And he says, "Most curious. It looks here that you are infected. Now, I'm gonna push something by you, and please don't agree to this if it's not absolutely true. But do you feel like you've been more observant recently, a little bit more able to jump to conclusions more effectively?"
Oh, these guys have been counting all the way up to 20. That's
Oh,
very
no.
different for them.
Oh no.
Ignore this.
Well, I think interestingly enough, you've uncovered what seems to be a rather rare condition that at one point almost wiped out the entire population of Waterdeep.
Doesn't sound very rare.
It doesn't sound what, sorry?
Very rare if it's wiped out almost the entire population of Waterdeep.
Oh,
See, I told you, it seems much smarter than normal.
Just
So-
Much
saying.
smarter than normal.
which is why it's strange. It seems that the only population that were infected were monkeys that were sorry, not monkeys, but people who had turned into monkeys with the disease that we had in centuries past, exiled from Waterdeep.
Well, these wounds were inflicted by monkeys of some kind.
These guys were making out with them.
Ignore this
Well,
one.
never recommended. It's the first thing they teach us at Wizarding Medical School is that you should not kiss diseased monkeys. But sometimes that's why I have a job. Now, the good news is that we know what it is. The bad news is that there wasn't really a cure to begin with.
That's not doing me any favors, Doc.
How attached are you on living?
Doc, the issue's almost not really with their lives. It's with one of the Acq Inc. Members' lives. I mean, that's really why Acq Inc's investing time here, is to keep their own alive.
Well, the last time that the disease happened, it was the the Black Staff of Waterdeep, who was able to eventually bring some sort of a stop to the disease, but only after massive sacrifice. And that Black Staff is no longer with us, as they too have passed with time. I have very little to offer you except my condolences and an ask that you do not bite or share saliva with anybody else.
Doc, you're not doing me any favors right now. I didn't come here to be told I was going to die. I came here with my friend Gary to find a solution to this monkey problem.
Well,
Now, is there anything you've heard of at all that may get rid of this infliction?
I mean, the intelligent part is good, but the idea that they might die, I'm a little attached to them.
Yes, I see
Yeah,
that.
we don't need them to die yet.
And part of our again wizarding school oath is that wizarding magic school. I never want to mislead it. Waterdeep Wizarding Magical School, if you want to be specific.
Oh.
WWMS. Quite proud of it. They did say that it seems the eating of bananas was an aggravator of the disease. And that
told you that, yes.
They should be avoided. More so, as I mentioned, the only real answer we had in the past was eradication, exile, and I believe, at least from my history, that the Black Staff had some doing with being able to save a few people that are too far gone. But again, they're no longer with us.
Look, I'm not as bright as the others because I didn't get bitten. To make of that as what you will. When you say the Black Staff, are you talking about a piece of equipment, a black staff,
no,
or an individual?
They are the sort of, if you were a grand wizard of Waterdeep.
You look pretty grand. You've got fancy robes on.
Oh yes, but at the WWMS, we use our magic to heal exclusively. We make a pledge not to sort of get involved with the rest of the political structures. It helps keeps us unbiased.
Whatever happened to
They're not as
Black
good as
Staff?
this bloke.
Well, the Black Staff aged as many do, and it's been a few generations that we've had a few other Black Staffs in between. But I'd have to go back and look through some of my textbooks to see which of the Black Staffs it was that was involved with this particular disease.
Fantastic. This place looks like the sort of place that has lots of textbooks.
Oh, I'd have to go back to the library.
This place has a library, right?
Doc.
What kind of an adventure against books?
You know something about
No,
Doc, you know something about this condition.
It's called magic wasting disease.
That sounds amazing. And what can we expect if it's? How does it progress?
Well, the first, as I understand, is that you begin to feel your intellect rising, but just like a fever, it's unsustainable. It starts to eat on your magic as a parasite would, and almost like a growth, you lose your ability to be anything except a monkey, as it sort of consumes your magical force to convert you. And after the conversion is done, although you maintain your intellect, a lot of what once made you yourself is gone.
And over what kind of time frame are we saying this kind of transformation happens, left unchecked?
From history, there was the first few people who were let to sort of go. They expected typically something like a month or two before they were to sort of start to truly transition. And
wow.
by the third
Plenty
month,
of time, really.
by the third month, they were typically sort of an ape, and then at that point, it was they were already gone and exiled.
Oh, mate, make the most of your next 2 months. What's the problem?
Oh, I'd
Let's go
say
find
that
out the glowing thing.
you should get your human affairs in order, and you should try and have offspring if it makes sense for you. And
Look,
otherwise,
I wasn't there at the time. How did the Black Staff help the people? What did the Black Staff do that was so special that, solved the drama?
I remember a reading of a great sacrifice that was able to rid the disease off of a few people.
Do you mean like a person? Because we've got somebody in a jail that we'd be willing to sacrifice.
No, the books I read didn't exactly say what was sacrificed, only that it was great, and that it was almost enough of a sacrifice that the lives that were gained from it were weighed very heavily against the cost of the cure.
Does this Black Staff have any other powers associated with it? Any sort of other magic?
But the Black Staff's a person, mate. Even though I'm not being bit, I'm smart enough to understand that.
All right. Well, all I can say is that they seem to be normal, but how normal can you truly be if you've got yourself the ability to cure an incurable disease?
Is there a current Black Staff?
Oh, of course there is.
Great. Well, what's the problem then?
Yeah.
Well,
You be yabbing a lot.
Hopefully, for your sake, it's a simple matter of sort of finding them, and they'll have a passed down cure to a disease that hasn't been around for several centuries, and you'll be all...
Surely, look, these wizards. Look, I don't know much about these wizards. I've got a cousin who's a wizard, but
congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. It's very good. Surely they write this stuff down, right? They're very studious. They go to all the colleges and stuff, right?
If you are looking for them, you'll most likely find them in the Blackstaff Tower in Waterdeep.
That sounds like
That's
a
very
pretty
apt
name.
It's a very aptly named. I agree.
If you do want to find them, they are either known as the Blackstaff or the Archmage.
Archmage. Nah, Blackstaff sounds much better.
I prefer it to myself.
Yeah.
At
Archmage.
WWMS, we called it Blackie, but that was sort of a fun sort of twist on the name.
I bet you guys got up to all sorts of mischief at the WWMS.
Oh, when you start injecting straight arcane juice into your veins, the knives are wild.
But you still can't cure disease.
Hey, we infected ourselves with plenty, and we were able to cure most of them.
Would you like me to bite you, Acidian combat?
One of our friends, Gary, in the corner there, he's not saying much. He's got a few diseases. If you could help him out and cure those, that'd be fantastic.
Now, what are we
doesn't always
looking
pick
at?
up the good-looking. Doesn't always look at the good-looking wenches. Scratches himself in the nether region quite a lot. If you've got a shot for that, that'd be fantastic.
Have you ever
Just
seen
the itchingers.
the magical no touch cone? It's sort of
I think he needs one of those. One around both hands and each feet and his neck.
The one that I've seen work most effectively is sort of a solid cone that goes around the waist all the way down to the ankles.
Perfect.
It prevents any sort of access to the region that is often scratched.
Sounds exactly like what he needs.
Often used for werewolves, but I have seen it used in this application as well by particularly worried parents.
Yeah, fantastic. If you could just attach one of those before we leave, that'd be great.
Well, I need their consent, but otherwise, it's a done deal.
Well, let's go this way. If he doesn't say no, Gary.
Well, there you go. Consent is consent.
I believe there is a very famous monk chant called "No, Gary, no." So I believe we need this to stop him from that chanting.
Oh God. So as you guys are all standing around, what's his face? Agantha looks at you all and says, "Is it time to go and discover the origins of the purple glowing in the city?"
So impatient, Willie. Fine, it's time to go.
I'm really
Willie, maybe. Willie, I think it's a good idea, mate. Maybe while we're off doing that, you can speak to Jonathan and organise this. Get word to him through one of the receptionists, organise for him to organise a some sort of receptionist to receptionist, so we can get a meeting with the Archmage, get this black
Well,
staff.
the only way we do that is by going to the receptionist, who manages
Well,
the
look-
receptionists.
And
It's
we'll make it so.
All I'm saying is you guys are the bloody queen bees of layers of management and corporate crap. Why don't you get that sorted while we go and do something with sharp blades and whirly hands of magic?
Well, it may be that we can get it done before you get back if I start the process now.
Sure.
All right. Well, I think, if that's what you want, I'll go.
And I just want to be very clear here, Willie. I'm not looking for a meeting in like 7 weeks' time, right? If you need to slip a few gold coins, slip a few gold coins. We'll sort you out.
All
Just
right,
make
well,
sure it gets done.
I might be able to get it done then with that stipulation.
Get it done and quickly. Look, I don't want these blokes to know, but they're becoming fond to me.
Nah, thanks, Sue. Appreciate
Right?
it.
Right? Maybe because they just buy me a lot of booze. Mind you, last night was very sober, so, not that fond.
Awesome. So he says, "Fine, I will go and do that then. Be safe, and I'll see you when you return."
Farewell. Off to
All right.
the North Ward.
Just quickly, Willie, who do we need to see to get more details about the location of this glow and any further, information? Who's the best person? Because I feel like Jonathan was a bit uptight yesterday.
He says, "Put
Says
out
he's
your
uptight. Yeah, understood.
put out your hand, and I will instill upon you the directions that you will need to travel
I think
in order to find the location."
Val's into holding hands.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fine, all right. You then.
Because I'm the only spellcaster.
He holds out his hands.
That's exactly what I meant.
Yeah.
You feel a warmth as magic starts to pour from his hands to yours, and you feel your mind receive a sort of image of the stars, and you feel an intense natural magic as through this lens of magic you see it zoom in from the galaxy down into the stars of our planet, and it sort of goes down, eventually reaching Waterdeep, where you feel yourself like water flowing through a riverbed. You feel the path lead you towards the goal of your mission, the abandoned house in the North Ward.
What was all the sparks, Val? We got something, or?
Yeah, it's North Ward. There's a beautiful abandoned house with a purple glow.
And even now, you feel the sort of pull of nature down towards the bottom floor that you just can't shake. It's sort of undeniable.
Yeah, whatever he did to me has this burning desire to get to that house. It's almost like a force of nature pulling me towards it.
He's a bit tired. He says, "Yes, I used some nature's guidance to show you the way to what you desire."
And I believe we head now
Val,
before this wears off.
can we tell how long of a trip it is to get there?
You feel a natural pull of about 15 minutes. So that's
15 minutes. That sounds like we got time to go via one of the taverns on the way. Maybe just stick a pint.
pick up a roadie.
But have we ever had any luck when I've gone into battle? It's over.
Let's take the wall.
All right. Why don't we, Val? You seem to know where we're going, Val. Why don't we bid Willie farewell? He's got a job to do to organise our meeting. We'll grab you, me, Gary, Flint. Go for a little wander. Go find out what this purple glow is all about.
Head towards the.
All right, let's do it. Hey, what's the quickest way out of this place, mate? I've got lost to the 37 floors we had to go through, the 2 lifts, the 9 badges, tags, and the 12 symbols.
You feel a pull out of the door, and then down the left once you reach the thing, and you'll see the lift.
Very sorry, did you say left?
No,
Down
so
the
the
lift?
Val in the
Go left to
room.
my left. his left, my left.
Yeah, right.
Well, as you leave,
That sounds right.
As you leave
Yeah,
the
we're
room, you pull straight ahead until you reach the cross intersection that you saw before, and then left as if the way you came. You follow that until you reach the elevator.
Ah, left then right. That's right. Then we left. Good one. Okay, let's go down.
Let's do
the
it.
So eventually, you make your way down, and the bard starts playing again. This time, a little bit more of an upbeat song. So it's like. And then eventually the ding of the elevator as you open up into the ground floor, and you hear the bard breathe a sigh of relief as the music stops.
Well done, mate. It's lovely. Just
Thank
lovely.
you.
Music's no good to me now. So.
Hello again. Please return your visitors' badges if you are leaving.
Just hand her the badge and walk out. I think we should make a move on this. I've only got 2 months to be a human, apparently.
Could you imagine if Janice was here? He'd definitely have a shot. Anyway, let's.
Yeah, you would have had a shot.
Yeah.
And you all sort of follow Belinaru's lead as you weave your way through the buildings like water, and eventually things start to get a little bit less densely packed. And there, in the middle of this city, is a house with an eerie quiet.
Now, mate, I thought we were going to the tavern on the way. What do you get? I'm going to be very angry when we get here. There better be something worth sinking my axe into.
There will
That's all
be,
I'm
and then
saying.
we'll drink.
What about-
after.
What about on the way home? We just, take whatever this glowy thing is and go and get a few bevs at the tavern. Surely they'll give us a table if we've got a glowy thing.
Look, as I look at the stars, we get this done. 3 o'clock, we're out. It's beer o'clock. Shortly after, think a few sundowners. Pass out, and we're done.
Sounds like a good idea to me.
Let's make it so.
So you see the eerie glow, and sure enough, as you approach the building, it's the door is wide open.
All right,
That's
I'm gonna go in with stealth.
Cool.
Go in just.
Roll a stealth check.
Hoping it's just gonna allow me to go with stealth.
Is there
Correct.
a map for said? I've still got the raging rolls.
We will get to a map. I do have a objective eventually.
Just me trying to short circuit things.
So you walk into a beautifully built building with sort of pillars on either side, opening up into a large entryway. And as you stealth your way in, you see that the glow is coming from a room off to the right of the main foyer.
Are we following?
Right, I'm gonna head. Yeah, I'm gonna head slowly that way. Just obviously still stealth, but
You slowly head that way, looking out for any sign of trouble. But the house, again, eerily silent. There's nothing happening, no sign of movement, no sign of life. And you find your way into the room, and there, standing on its own, on a podium, is a massive, glowing purple crystal that is definitely the source of this ominous glow.
I'm standing next to Flint. Flint, did we follow him in when he went stealth and disappeared, or what's the go?
We followed a few feet behind, 10, 15 feet behind, just keeping a distance, let him take the damage first.
All right, well, if he's just seen a glowy thing and we're only 15 feet behind, it's mandatory that I wander up and pick up the glowy thing.
All right, so as you approach,
It's a bad idea.
you
What?
so great as the
What's a bad idea? Sorry.
find yourself in the vicinity of this beautiful glowing crystal. And as you pick it up, suddenly you are all no longer in the beautiful house, but rather in a darkened room where all that is visible is in the center of this room, which fades out into darkness on all sides, is a crystal with a purple dome around it, glowing in its ominous glow. So please put yourself on the map here.
For anyone watching along, Sue has an issue where he must pick up whatever it is that he sees in front of him. He picked up
a DM's favorite player.
He can't help it. He gets distracted by shiny things, especially glowy things are right up there. He currently has a number of things in his possession that he has just picked up. On a recent trip into the caves, he picked up a pretty-looking gem that was sitting around and started taking a significant amount of damage and triggered a golem. And that was a lot of fun.
Remind me next game to learn hold person so I can make sure that you don't go anywhere.
Awesome. So as you all enter this room, you hear an ominous laugh. Welcome to the puzzle realm.
A puzzle? What?
The puzzle? Puzzle what? Yeah, good thing you guys are smart.
We just want the crystal.
It's the puzzle realm.
The puzzle realm.
Yes, it's a realm that I created to be puzzling.
It's a realm you've created. Who's you?
Puzzling.
I am the puzzle master.
The puzzle master. No chance you just want to send us on out and maybe throw us a band at this slaughter or something, is there?
Oh, I will give you a way out, and it's to solve my puzzles.
Does your puzzling involve some sort of vicious attack?
Oh, you will get rewarded with combat.
What?
In between each round of combat, you will be given an opportunity to prove yourselves in a game of puzzle solving.
There you go, Silver Boys. You get to solve things.
I just don't want to throw a second flame at this person.
It's a disembodied voice. There is nothing here except this crystal with a dome on it in the middle of the room. And he says, "For our first puzzle, let me introduce you to an old friend." And you see the room melt around you, where suddenly you're all transported into a completely different room. So let me just read to you the description, then I'll paste it in the chat for the players as well. A very small room that looks completely plain, almost as if someone had been in there recently. There is a small desk with a stack of aged parchment on top. There is also a bottle of ink with a quill sticking out of it. A chair with fox fur lined on the backing, and the arm is seated underneath. There is a painting of a nature scene on the wall, a small table in the corner with a teapot and 2 cups. On the floor is a simple wolverine skin rug. From the ceiling is a plain candle lantern that is lit. Good luck! And so you guys have a door on the other side of where you guys jump in, and no other way of getting out, seemingly.
What was on the table again? Yeah.
I did just paste it in the chat here.
Okay, my bad.
Just to make it easier so that you guys could have a read.
I'm madly trying to sketch what I see.
I got caught in a room one night above a tavern. I woke up with a werewolf. It looked a lot like this, and it was very difficult to get out of. Didn't have my axe or anything. Had to use my brain.
Puzzling, isn't it?
Just headbutted the door, really.
I was going to say, I'm sure you're in there for months.
What? Didn't have a calendar, sorry.
If there's anything in the teacup. In the teapot.
As you open the teapot, you see what looks to be a spectral tea.
Is there a teacup?
There are 2 teacups.
I pick up a teacup instantly.
Beautiful. You are holding an empty teacup.
I pour tea into my teacup.
A beautiful spectral tea flows out of the teacup, filling your cup with a blend that's ghostly to smell.
Val, I'm going to sit here for a minute and enjoy this tea, mate. Not sure about drinking it yet, but why don't you guys look around the room?
You just take it easy, Sue, and Flint's going to walk over to the desk and have a look at what if anything is scribbled on the parchment.
So the parchment itself is plain; it has nothing in it, but you can see the parchment has been bound into what looks to be a book or a diary of sorts.
So would you say it has been bound into a book or a diary?
Yeah, into a diary of sorts.
Okay, so Flint will reach over, grab the quill out of the ink pot.
Yep.
And then just write hello on the parchment.
The ink settles as expected on the parchment with no further results.
Well, I'm out of ideas.
You want a cup of tea? I poured the second cup of tea.
Can we see the whole room using this candle lantern? Like there's no dark spots or anything?
It's a very small room. All you see on the other side of the wall is a door. You see this table and all sort of the decorations described in that write-up.
Okay. Flint will walk over and just check out the painting on the wall. Just check it out. See if it just moves, slide it around, anything behind it.
So the painting on the wall is an idyllic scene of a small creek meandering through through trees on both sides. As the river meanders further into the distance, a small cottage is there on the grassland with a simple thatch roof, 2 simple windows, and a simple unadorned door.
Can you open the door in a painting?
I think that might be a little bit impossible. But
have you tried?
I haven't tried. We'll just tap on the painting on the house.
Yeah, you feel sort of the texture of paint, and you hear the puzzle master say, "That one always gets them."
And say, "The painting, idiot."
As you all sort of feel the sort of a frustration of not getting the puzzle solved with that obvious stroke of brilliance, you see a small bit of energy flow from your bodies, almost like heat or sort of smoke or steam evaporating off of you, and it gets sucked up into the ceiling.
What the hell was that? Does anyone feel any different after that?
No, but I feel like we're looking this on the wrong plane. So I pour myself a cup of tea and take a sip.
Interesting result. Go ahead and make a Constitution save.
Right.
You feel a ghostly cold go down your throat as it settles in your stomach. But it seems that you are otherwise unaffected by this ghostly brew.
But it does nothing else for me. No extra, like, I'm not seeing things in a whole new, purple haze.
No, if you had not been so good at Constitution, you probably would be, though.
I feel like this is a fail. It needs a Constitution fail.
Did anyone try and open the door yet?
Use
Give it a
it.
go, Sue. Give it a go.
Yep. Sue walks straight over and tries to unlock the door now.
So there's a simple door handle, no locks. As you go to turn the door
Doesn't
handle,
look locked.
what happens instead of the door clicking open is a spectral fist comes out of the door and slaps you and retracts into the door itself and stops.
Sue's unsure what just happened and tries the door again.
You go to open the door, and this time the hand comes out, slaps you twice, once on both sides, and then retracts.
Oh, just keep going.
Sue's upset.
Sue, get away from
Sue
the door.
tries the door one more time.
This time, you see a spectral hand come out, slap you on one side of the face, then just a knee coming out, smacking you right in the gut, and sort of bent over, it just retracts.
This door doesn't look like it's opening.
Sue, get away from the door.
Oh, I'm gonna sit down on this fur-lined chair for a second. Oh,
As you rest your sore body upon the supple chair, you feel comfort seep into you. Relaxed.
Hey,
Recovery.
bet this is better than the drink. Lovely. Feeling very relaxed.
Sue, do me a favor. Have a look.
Yeah.
What, if anything, since you're close to the table anyway, look under the table for anything.
Use your height.
I look up to see what's under the table.
It doesn't seem to be too much. But
There's not much here, mate.
As
It's
you
just
as
not
you
much
look
here.
at the floor, there's a note that seems to have teared out of the book that's bound on the table.
Oh, here's a
I pick it up.
Sorry.
I have to
You-
pick it up.
You pick it up. Are you reading it?
Yes.
All right. So, as you try and read it, the script is a little bit difficult. You know how if we sort of start to read script from another generation, you know, like their style was a lot more artful. It had a
What
lot-
language is it?
It's common,
Okay.
Okay. and on it you read, "Oh, I do so love the beautiful house that I've built for myself. It is great to be in good company and to have things as I want. There's no disruptions, no rudeness, just myself, my tea, and a muse on my thoughts."
Val,
Oh.
I think you should have a look, mate. What do you make of this? I give the note to Val.
Look at it. Believing that someone. I feel like we need to okay what we said.
You notice immediately it's well written, and some of the word choices seem outdated, but very polite in their writing style.
What? Your puzzles are a nightmare.
As that thought goes out of your mind, you again feel this sort of energy rise up from you into the ceiling.
Does that mean we're feeling weaker?
That means you're feeling puzzled.
Hmm.
I'm feeling very puzzled here. Very relaxed in this seat, but very puzzled.
Very puzzling. So there was nothing behind the painting. The parchment was empty. I'm going to take this quill and try and write inside the book.
You open the book, and again, filled with daily entries, it is the musings of someone who, again, throughout the whole page, every start of an entry is always to whom it may concern. It is your dearest adventurer and lost spirit, and they start every single page like that, and then at the end, every single one ends with yours sincerely. But consistently, they still write about the sort of samey life that they have living in this box. Oftentimes, talking about this fur skin chair that they relax in. Other times, discussing the love of tea. But always the same monotony. And as you go to write, again, your quill meets the paper, and nothing happens.
No ink comes out.
Sounds
No
like
words
a-
come out. It's just
Oh, ink comes out just like
what I
normal,
write
but nothing extra. There's no Voldemort diary here, you know.
No.
All these
Paper.
stories of sitting in the chair and drinking tea, this guy sounds like an absolute legend. Boring as bat, but very comfortable.
Very boring.
I feel like I need to try here and I feel like I'll take another sip.
I sip of
You
the
take
tea.
another sip of the drink. This time, you do start to see things go a little bit funky. So, you also take how much damage? Yeah. You take 6 points of psychic damage as it starts to eat away at sort of the reality of your mind. But from that, you see a spectral glow coming from the teacup, as well as the door.
Like,
What can you see, Val?
there is a connection. This coming from the teacup, but same with the door. It feels like there must be some level of connection.
What you reckon? You reckon the thing that kept slapping me in the face before might like some tea? Is that what you're telling me?
No idea. You go and open the door some
'cause-
tea, Sue.
Because look, the thing slapped me in the face twice and kicked me in the nuts. I feel like maybe I've done my dues. I don't want to say I'm a slow learner, but I've done my bit there at the door for a while, I reckon.
I've done my learning.
But Flint, why don't you take it over, mate?
Okay. Flint will take a cup over to the door, open the door, and hold the cup of tea.
So you walk
After
up to the. Yep.
having a sip.
Oh shit! All right, roll the con save.
Good luck, dude.
I really hope that the tea drinking is related to the tea giving to the door spectral spirit because the
Double.
nat one, double nat one
And that's 6
fail.
on the damage dice. That's 7 points of fire.
Oh,
Oh,
I
that's
love-
just like that's a door slapping you in the face.
you rolled a nat 1 and he rolled a nat 6. It's just perfect.
It's amazing. So you take a sip of this, and again, your world melts, and the spectral sense comes out. You got hit so bad by this stuff that you start seeing the soul of your companions as they sort of glow from within. And as you then sort of coughing, as this sort of intense cold fills your entire body and then your mind, you offer a cup to the door. As you do, a hand slowly snakes its way out, and a set of lips go out of the top of the door, and the cup brings to the lips, drinks and finishes the tea, and passes it back to you, very gently placing on the cup, and the sort of two hands come out in sort of a thank you gesture and motion towards you.
Quick,
And then-
duck! He's about to slap your duck.
Shut up, Sue.
And that's
Wait,
it.
where's all the slapping?
That's it.
That's it.
Ah.
It doesn't work, but all it does is punch you in the face, this cup of tea.
It drank it.
What?
That was all it did.
Maybe
Try
try
and
and
open the
open the door now.
Great mind.
Sounds like a great idea. Let's try and open the door again.
I've got to laugh if he gets bopped here.
As you go to open the door, you see the hand come out, hesitate, then slap you across the face.
Nope, it only likes to drink tea.
Sue's having a bit of a laugh, slides out of the fur chair and down onto the rug to just have a bit of a lie down on this Wolverine rug.
You melt into the floor. It is sort of comfy. You understand now how someone
So
gets
relaxing.
a whole afterlife to this particular setup.
Look, if I had to stay here forever, I'd be fine with that.
And then you hear the puzzle master come through. At the rate you're solving it, you might as well be here forever.
All right, let's try this.
Quite delightful.
I'm convinced there's something with the quill and a bit of parchment in the book. I'm going to get another cup of tea and pour it on the book.
So the way that the spectral tea works is it sort of just flows through the pages and sort of pours into it like a spectral puddle on the floor.
Oh,
You see a fist,
What are you going to do next, mate? Pour it on the painting?
fist
pour it on
come
you.
out of the door and shake at you as if to say, "How dare you spill my tea all over my book?"
Maybe you
covered.
should draw on the painting. In your
Never go
wacky
drawing the
ideas,
painting
Flint.
If you can reach it.
Oh, I'm too busy laying down on this lovely mat.
Maybe Val can
Thought I
try
was
drawing on
relaxed
it.
in that chair. Maybe drink some tea in the chair or something, Val. You guys are
As-
smart.
I walk over to it, I grab my quarterstaff and just smash the teapot.
If you were more relaxed, you wouldn't have done that.
A spectral spear shoots out from the door. Make a dex save.
Man, this purple thing likes you.
That did not do it.
Oh.
How'd you die? Oh, I broke a teacup.
Take 5 points of piercing damage.
Oh, man.
This spectral spear shoots out in response to your egregious action and pierces you in the side as you try and dodge out of the way.
What the hell, man? Any other bright ideas, Sue? Maybe next time you can try it.
Oh, look, all I'm saying is I'm full of ideas here, and I'm just sleepy on the ground. I thought you were the smart one.
Well, all I want to do is have a banana right now.
Has any of us actually done an investigation check or a perception check in the room?
I think we can only see what we can see, right?
Oh, I don't know. It might be magic stuff. When we drank the tea, we could see some more. So I don't see why we can't, investigate or something.
Definitely give you an investigation.
Who's having it?
Why don't you all investigate? You're all the smart ones. Sue kind of sits up and looks around the room and rolls a lazy investigation check
Nice.
for 17.
As you investigate, it's not often that you get much wisdom, and you're not often known to be the one to figure it all out.
Usually full of rage. Fair, and usually full of rage.
You're limited understanding. Nothing has seemed to react at all except the door.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And that's sort of what you observe. Nothing else seems to stand out. Everything seems to start and end at the door.
Hey, Val, mate, just, Flint, Val, the door seems very interesting. Like there's a person. Why don't you go and speak to it or something? I'm going to stay here laying on the ground. Why don't you go speak to it? Or, take the painting over or push the chair up. Maybe you could stand on the chair and do a dance for it.
Doing a lot of talking and not a lot of work.
Well, I got slapped in the face a few times.
Talking to
fair.
the person beer to the side.
Please, hold my beer.
All right, Flint's going to take the book over and open the door and try and hand it into the door.
Trying to open the door?
Open the door and give it to the door inside.
So you go to open the door, it stops. He grabs the book from you and it places it gently as its hand extends back on the table and then retracts again within it. And then slaps you.
Maybe give it the quill and let it write something on some parchment, mate.
Yeah, you do that, Sue. Make it so instead of just laying around on the floor.
Sue stands up, walks over, gets parchment and quill, walks up to the door very confidently. Yeah. Just gets a little bit worried as he kind of jiggles on the door handle and holds up the quill and a bit of parchment. Kind of in front of him face.
You see the quill get picked up by the spectral hand, the parchment, and on it it writes, for the love of good manners, do not be so rude. Yours sincerely, Bill. And it folds it nicely into a letter format and then passes it back to you.
Flint, he said, stop being rude to me. I think this, whoever this William is, Willie, very smart person.
So many Willies on this campaign.
So many Willies on this campaign.
Oh, you're us, Big Willie style.
Big Willie. So what have we had some luck with? Just assessing the situation for a second. We've taken tea over to the door. That's worked well. The quill and the book were no go. We sit in the chair and we feel comfortable and we lay on the rug. In the description it says that there is, and the arms is seated underneath. Can you explain that? A chair with fox fur line on the backing and the arms is seated. Is it just, sorry, the chair is underneath the table? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Correct. It's just
Okay. So there's nothing underneath the seat.
Correct.
Did we take the painting over to the door?
You have not.
Okay.
If you want to just off a few things.
Now I don't want to have to move the chair over here to stand on the chair to get to the painting, to pull the painting down and take it over the door. Can you just reach up there, you tall, lanky bugger, and get the thing?
Take it off.
Maybe
Towards
go
the
see
door.
if Billy's interested in something on the painting.
As the longer this goes on, the more of this sort of energy is just floating off of you all, and you sort of think and try and figure this one out, and you pick up the painting and pick it up to the door, and nothing happens. And again, just the frustration of a wrong guess causes more of this energy just to flow from you.
So we've got the chair. We haven't done anything with the chair, and we haven't done anything with this Wolverine skin rug. I mean, I've sat in the chair and I've laid on the rug, but nothing's actually been done with them.
Oh, but a quick jump out of character. If this is how my character dies by getting shit slowly pulled into an air vent, I'm gonna be so pissed off.
So, Jeremy, you did you hear what the door wrote on the parchment?
No.
Do you want to repeat it to them, Sue?
It said, "Don't be rude to Sue," or something along those lines. Have some manners.
It said, "Please, to who it may concern, do not be so rude. Yours sincerely, Bill."
To whom it may concern, do not be so rude. Yours sincerely, Bill. Did some of the words in the book look a little bit like bolded or important than other words?
They didn't. The only consistent thing was their sort of very traditional greeting and ending in all of their diary entries.
Can you
What was
can
the
we
ending?
just have a look? What was the ending? Did it have a name?
Yours sincerely, Bill.
It said, "Yours sincerely, Bill." To whom it
I'm
may
gonna try
concern.
something. Get the
Got an
parchment
idea.
right. To whom it may concern, I wish to leave this room immediately. Yours sincerely, Bill.
And then?
So where are you writing this?
A parchment, using the ink and writing it just on a piece of parchment.
You see the hands float out of the door, grab a piece of parchment, grab the pill hold their hand out for the quill in your hand.
It's
I
the
think
quill.
it wants the quill.
It then writes down on the piece of paper, and it just says, "To whom it may concern, you might have better luck learning how to say please. Yours sincerely, Bill."
Sue stands up.
So,
Bill.
are you sure you want to do this?
Bill, looks like you've got a mighty fine cabin here. I think the boys have enjoyed the fine wares of your tea. I can see that from the painting, you're quite the artist. Look, this delightful place you've set up for yourself, I think we've enjoyed the fruits of your hospitality for long enough. Do you think that maybe you would be allowing us to exit this place, please?
The door swings open.
And I thought you blokes were the smart ones. And Sue walks out the door.
As you do,
Follow.
it fades to black, and you're back in this sort of dark space. And you hear the voice come up over the space again. "Well done! You've solved the first puzzle. You're making your way quite spectacularly to getting your way out of here."
Hey, Joker boy, did that puzzle have a toe at all?
No, I don't think it did.
Oh,
Oh, how puzzling!
yeah, it was very puzzling. Ah, we found Gary. He was standing in the black nether. Why didn't you put Gary into the room with us?
Rip.
Seriously, Joker boy.
My apologies. Sometimes, with the magic and the transportation and the illusions and such, it's just hard to keep track.
Yeah, no, fair call. Do you think you could throw us back in the room with the shiny thing I wanted to pick up and take home? Please?
The voice stops. It doesn't say anything after that. And it says, "Now, you did all want to have some combat, didn't you?"
Pretty sure Sue wants a few times.
Why do we just say that, Gary?
"How would you like to spin the wheel of purple?"
Oh, sounds like a vow thing.
So into existence pops the spinning wheel that has radiance of purple across its face. you can see 10 different segments, all with increasingly sort of going from very light purple all the way to almost a black in this wheel. I'm going to send in the Roll20 the link to the wheel, and you can all go ahead and spin the wheel of purple.
We all spin it ourselves.
Mm-hmm. So, like in the game, we'll take turns and everybody spinning the wheel.
Black that is super dark, but also just a little purple. 9.
Yep.
Fair enough.
9.
While it's still spinning, Sue tries to pick up the wheel.
Yeah, like when you go to use it in any other way, it just doesn't allow you to touch it. And a little bit of the, as you sort of, like the expectation gets, you don't do what it seems to need to do. A little bit of that frustration energy just leaves your body.
I got a 1.
A 1?
Super light purple.
Yeah, now we're talking.
Gary gets punished for being AWOL or AFK for the last hour. Dies immediately.
That's beautiful. All right, so quickly add some. Nope, that is not what I want to add. How do you guys feel like playing against a CR9 monster?
Why not?
Easy, right?
Chuck another Refredi at us.
I'm too relaxed to know what a CR9 monster is, so
And that's fair.
I was going to tell my wife to turn down her ghetto music in the background.
All good. You can't hear it if that helps.
Yeah, you can't, but I can. Just one second.
That's all good.
So what did I miss? What's the 30-second recap?
You got stuck in an escape room with magical tea, parchment, quills, all this fun stuff. Basically tried to beat my way out by smashing everything, and the spiritual weapons beat the shit out of me. Ended up, we just had to be really nice to this celestial being that was in the space, and it let us out of the room.
Is this the haunted mansion thingy?
We went in. I can't remember whether you came in with us. We went in, and then Sue's drive to pick up all the shiny shit. Grabbed the purple glowing orb that ended us on the puzzle plane, I think it was called.
The puzzle realm.
Thank you. That's what I was saying. I knew what I was doing. I just wanted the voice to come out.
Monkeyitis.
Well played.
A monkeyitis. You've got about
Oh,
2
mate.
months to live with the We're gonna find the black
Staff.
staff, which is an archmage who will be able to get rid of for you. But you guys have got a couple of months before you go full ape.
You'll be fine, probably.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome.
Okay, back into.
Awesome.
We're good.
Let's have production changes happen on a D&D night.
Yeah, it's got to be good.
Roll back. Is that the solution? Yeah. This never happened.
These are not the production changes that you were looking for.
I'm now worried that rollbacks. No.
All right, what did I miss? What's this CR9 monster we're fighting?
Oh, it'll be fine. Don't stress.
All right.
All right, I'm just quickly bringing them up now that we've got it. So these are those. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, I love that D&D Beyond is like, oh, I see you've added a creature that is not in something you own. Feel free to buy our content for that. Give me 1 second as I just bring them up again. Yeah, they'll do. This sounds like fun. Beautiful. All right, so as you are all waiting in this dark room, around you, as each of you spin, starts to materialize several different creatures. Of those, you recognize a few. You recognize some humanish creatures, a creature that looks like an orc, and another that reminds you very much of someone close to you, but a bit more tribal, as a lizard folk appears as well. So,
These mates of yours, Gary, have you been hanging out with these blokes while you were not with us in the room?
No, I was trying to get the cloud of shame off my head. Assuming that's what you were.
it's around your body, but you know, that's fine.
Weird.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Kind
Gary,
of just
no.
all embodying him. Flint, is this what you rolled, mate? Did you spin the chocolate wheel of doom and get this thing?
I don't believe so, but I think you opened the door first. I think you should go and ask them where they came from. We're here because of your crystal tinkering.
Right.
Go ahead and roll for initiative.
Couldn't keep your hands to yourself, could you, Sue?
Can't keep your hands to yourself.
No, not at all. Not at all.
It's part of the course, really.
Part of the course. Initiative.
Oh,
Oh, dang.
Oh, dang.
Sorry.
Oh, with a 16 for them, you guys are in for a wild journey.
Oh dang.
Did you roll initiative twice?
I hadn't
Okay.
selected my token first, so my bad. Second one counts,
okay.
first one does not.
Yeah.
I think Gary has the worst rolls, even though he's on like a +5.
+5. Oh, Gary.
How
Nice
many?
one, Gary.
We have Jeremy with a 3. What's your actual roll? The 16.
No, well, I don't care. Whatever you want to put me down for.
No, the one that's the first one. I'll take that.
Okay.
As long as where are you in this thing? This is you here. That's a 16. Beautiful, and I'll put you above these guys because you definitely probably have a higher initiative.
Holy shit.
You've got a +0 initiative there, Jez.
Mhm.
You got a
Well,
+0.
so do they, so that's fine. You can win because you're a human and they're NPCs.
Oh, wow. Race as much?
Yeah, well, I'm technically being racist against the DM, but that's fine by me. Everybody
Self-loathing.
in, I think. Beautiful. So as they all start to appear, the wheel disappears, and the puzzle master comes over the sort of ether and says, "Well, all I have to say is good luck, and may it be a very puzzling occurrence." And suddenly, all of the creatures in front of you start to sort of snarl in your direction, and you are up. Is it Jeremy? With what's your character's name? Jeez, I've got no character reference here anywhere in the game.
Flunt.
Flint, you're up.
Can you see what they are?
Yeah, so in front of you, you see two humans wearing sort of red cloaks, very much cult-like with these skulls upon their outfits. Up above to the left, you have a well-armored orc creature that seems to be ready to just kill you with a single strike of their hammer. And then up the back, you have yourself a lizard folk creature that's dressed in shamanic outfit. You can see the tribal symbols with them, and they seem to already be preparing to cast some sort of magic, voodoo or otherwise, towards you.
Okay, so Flint straight away,
Awesome.
looking at this battle coming ahead, just focuses everything he has and casts Spirit Guardians around him with crackling lightning shield around him for 15 feet radius.
Beautiful.
At level 3.
That MVP card again.
Oh, ignore that. It's fine.
All right, so that's giving you a shield, or is it doing damage to everybody in the radius?
It damage if anyone starts their turn in that radius or moves within that radius.
All right, so if they walk near you, then suddenly it starts getting damaging.
Yes.
Awesome. And that's just your turn. Are you moving anywhere?
Yeah, that's my turn. I'm going to stay right where I am.
Awesome. So next up, we have them starting to make their move. We see the Orok running towards you all. Probably gonna head right for the littlest one of the bunch of you. And they, let's see, make sure they don't have some sort of a ranged attack. Oh, they do have a javelin. Let's javelin. They're gonna run the 30 feet in your direction, and then they're going to throw a javelin at you, Sue.
Yeah, right. They can try.
Right, you're right. You're right. I did /toll, not /roll. That'll work. With a nat 20 to hit, they are going to hit, and they're going to do
Yes, they are. That is how nat 20s work.
+4, which is nice. For a total of 12 piercing damage.
Unfortunately, when I saw them, I did not enter a flying rage, and I take a full 12 damage.
Luckily, you have those potions that that Acq Inc gave you, right?
Yes.
Next, we have our shaman creature who looks upon the group of you and starts to. I think they're going to try and entangle some of you. I think that'll be fun.
Oh, it won't.
I think it'll be a little bit of fun, a little bit of enjoyment.
All sense of fun.
So they cast a zone around near some of you with a 20-foot square. So 20 feet is there. That seems pretty good. If I do it from this area, not quite. So basically, I'm going to capture the lot of you in the square. So 20 feet, basically, with you two in the middle of the square.
All right, then.
Just draw a quick shape. It'll be roughly like so.
What's that going to do to
20
us?
feet. It'll entangle you. We'll read the spell effects in a sec.
Okay.
That area there. So grasping weeds and vines sprout from the ground, and they just start to grow around you. A creature in the area, when I cast a spell, but succeed in a strength saving throw. So go ahead and both of you do a strength save.
Yep.
21.
Surely.
Yep. And what do we have here?
17.
Beat it. So these vines try to grapple with you, but luckily for you, you sort of stomp them out, and they aren't able to actually hold you down for any length.
You
of
good,
time.
Flint? Good, Flint?
You?
Yeah. Yeah,
Sweet.
vines.
What?
I mean, they got to my armpits, but you know.
The other two that's are standing here. I don't want to draw. Whoops! I want to actually select them. They look upon you both, and they are very much not fans of what you're doing, and instead are trying to. They're going to put an end to you. So they both put out their arms in sort of a reflexive spellcasting motion, and they cast an all too familiar spell to some of you, as these spiritual weapons are spawned right next to the two of you within the grasping roots area, as you both get a sword of glowing purple energy appear right next to each of you.
I had a dream the other night, just like this, spiritual swords, shit going on. It was killed a lot of people. Killed a lot of people that night.
Killed a shit.
As the bonus action for this turn, they're going to make a melee hit against you both. So I'm just going to roll two.
Can try.
Mm-hmm.
They sure are going to try. Plus your spellcasting modifier. What's the spellcasting
Sounds like Red Helm 37 rolls later.
Pretty much. It really does feel like that. They're at +3. So I'll do 1d20 plus 3. So that's the one on the left and the one on the right. So 11 to hit you, Flynn.
It does not. Completely blocked.
So both of these swords come down, but you prepared as you dodge it definitely away from the greenery that sprouts around you. The swords come down, and you also manage to block those, even with them working so well together. And now, Sue, it is your turn for revenge.
Just out of curiosity, does the weapon get an attack of?
It does. It does not. It's not a creature.
I'm not really excited. Sue's a little bit upset that, the weeds were tickling my underarms. Now this weapon's attacking me, and I've had to kind of actually put some effort in. I've used my brain a lot, and I'm still quite sober. And none of this is a good way for Sue to be like. None of this is a good mental state for Sue. Sue rages, and Sue charges at this fella here, and just brings down the great axe in just like a running sort of, as he comes through, just straight through into the kneecap, like left kneecap with the great axe.
Beautiful. What'd you get?
Let's roll it.
With an 8, you go for the kneecap, but this is not an orc that is unarmored. It manages to slide right off of the armament that sits at the kneecap, and the orc just laughs a deep orcish laugh.
Yeah, I feel a little bit foolish, and I just, with my second attack, just take the axe up towards that laugh.
Beautiful. With the 21, it hits.
Yeah. Who's laughing now, tall man?
For 15 points of damage, you do definitely take a large chunk out of this poor creature with that. So well done.
And I'm done.
Not a bad effort, I'd say. All right, over to Valanaru.
Oh yeah, excited for this. Okay, so I am going to. Sorry, I'm just lining up something quickly. I'm going to burn 2 sorcery points, so I can turn one. I can turn one of my actions into a bonus action. So by doing that, I'm going to do a bonus action of. I can only do bonus actions at 2nd level, right?
Not 100% sure on that one. Not the sorcery rules.
Okay.
But go with your gut feeling.
It's alright, I'll do the 2nd level anyway, because that works for me. So I'm going to do bonus action. Hopefully that came up with Scorching Ray.
It definitely hits.
Give me 3 rays of fire, held targets within range, so I'm going to hit it at 1, 2, 3. Do you want me to roll 3 times for each of these, or are we going to say the 20 hits?
I'll give you the 20 to hit all 3 of them, that's fine.
Perfect. Alright, I'll roll a combined damage, so 10 fire to each of them.
Beautiful.
Then as my action, because that was my bonus action, I'm going to fire 3rd level lightning bolt.
You took that away from this guy here, this one here, and the one up here, or just this one here?
This one here. I ignored the lizard dude.
Cool.
That's those guys, and I'm going to fire 3rd level lightning bolt. A sec.
Whoa, that's a lot of dice.
But what I'm going to do...
7,000 dice roll on the...
Yeah, but what I'm going to do to make it even better is I'm going to use my divine... my channel divinity.
Mm-hmm.
I'll play that into the thing, which means I can actually deal max damage without having to roll anything.
Very nice.
So that's 8d6 damage straight off, and I'm going to aim for this bloke at the back.
The lizard?
The lizard, 8d6, so 6 8's 48. their points of lightning damage.
Jeez.
So, what you see as you look upon your friend here is lightning manages to shoot through into the puzzle realm, and as a conduit, they channel out this entire destructive bolt that charges through the rest of the people right into this lizard folk. And you see burnt to a crisp as dust settles where it used to be after the lightning hit, and you have killed it. There you
The
go.
dude in front of me is dust.
Not the dude up here.
That one, right? Gotcha.
That changes my
Well, that-
game plan, doesn't it?
That's the end of me.
What have you done? You've killed him.
No longer.
How? How's the
Can't believe it took so long.
No. Sneck and Miski's little crispy lizard friend.
Luckily, he's not here to witness the murder.
No.
Reckon we could scoop up some of that dust for snack for later. You could sprinkle it on top of something.
Nothing quite like a cannibalistic lizard, right?
Yeah.
That's why we try to keep him hungry and happy.
All right, Gary, you are up.
On for key point. So I get. I'm going to take a dash as a bonus action. Run up. Attempt a hit on this guy with my double-handed spear.
Hit him.
Oh, yeah, boy.
Oh,
Jeez.
Crit.
So two-handed.
two-handed, yep.
Jesus.
So that's an
So
18
it's
points of damage.
18. Is he still?
Gary bringing the fire.
He basically is like you can see his artery in the wound that you just made. You're so close to killing him, but you just weren't quite to the right enough.
Should have gone for the head.
He's basically just got a gaping hole, but somehow in D&D logic, he's still standing. Anything else that you do in your turn?
Yeah, I've got another turn. I'm just wondering whether I off him, stunning strike him, or move on. Stunning strike feels like it's going to be a waste.
He seems very close to death.
Yeah, I might do.
But.
I'm gonna do an attack and then an unarmed strike. So yeah, we'll do that. We'll double spear him again.
Do it. Do
So-
it.
Just I've rolled inside of beyond 20. Or roll 20.
Hits.
Nice.
How do you do it?
Okay, I just, as I jam the spear up into his gut, basically just lift him off the ground a little bit with his legs kicking, and eventually he just goes limp. Sort of throw him back down. I will use.
Nice one, Gary.
Oh, Gary, go.
I will use
Go,
the rest of
Gary.
my movement to get up to this guy.
Nice.
I turn around and vow. He's very agile with that cone of shame on.
And
It's amazing how well when he focuses on anything but his itch.
and throw an unarmed strike.
Hits for 9
Which
bludgeoning
hits?
damage. That is brutal.
Can I spend a key
What did you
point?
dish out there?
It is definitely bloodied now.
I can't spend.
So is this one for that matter.
No, flurry of blows is a bonus action, so I've spent that. So that is me done.
Beautiful. And as we hit 11, that is also the time that we typically call it in Raging Rolls.
Two people so close to dead.
So lovely.
There we go. How do we do?
Well done, crew.
Interesting game. I don't remember most of it.
That was
We drunk a lot of tea. You wore a shame cup. It's all good.
So
And you went and dumped 49. You between us, I dumped 48. You dumped 49 points of damage in a single turn.
that was crazy amount of damage, guys.
I really wanted to do that stunning strike, and I was going to take the guy up the back and rule him out of combat.
now you hear a voice come over the sound of the puzzle realm atmosphere, and it says, "How curious that you cannot move. I guess I'll keep you here until I'm ready to let you continue facing the puzzle realm." And then everything goes dark. And
Dark purple or just
yeah, dark purple. I'll give it a dark purple. It's more thematic.
Does this technically mean we could like meditate and take this as a long rest?
Oh, curious, very curious. I think you'll have to ask the puzzle master next time.
Good point.
Nicely.
Well, thank you everybody for watching, and sorry to end on a cliffhanger, but that's just sometimes how things happen. And I look forward for you all to join us next week as we continue to venture into the puzzle realm, and hopefully find out more about why it seems that with the more puzzles they do, the more energy is consumed from them. So next week, Thursday, come and join us at 8 p.m. for some more Raging Rolls. Thank you very much.
Cheers.